The collection falls into 4 parts. I think of them as music albums. The first one is loosely about insects, but it's also about many other things. It kind of brings in human elements. It's mostly about the urgency of their very brief lives, but seen through quite a human lens. And then the second part revisits boarding school. I was an RAF kid, and after many state schools was sent to boarding school. So some of those poems treat growing up in boarding school. And then the third part is a retelling of the myth of the Minotaur, which tries to re-centralise his mother, Pasiphae, who we usually only know as somebody who slept with a bull and produced the Minotaur as her child. So the Minotaur was half bull, half man. I think that troubled me, that myth troubled me for a long time. And I came across these jars in a museum, and ancient Greek the ancient Greek culture used to expose unwanted children, which included disabled children, and things kind of aligned for me, and I thought that perhaps the Minotaur could have been a disabled child that was misunderstood by the culture around him, mostly through fear, but that it's a child that Pasiphae, his mother, chooses to bring up. So it kind of retells the story with a strong emphasis on the place of Pasiphae in the narrative as a mother of lots of different children, but also of ancient Greek treatment of disability. And then the last section is mostly about being a mother of girls and the anxieties that sometimes entails. You know, we all see through our own human perspective. So when I'm talking about the insects, for example, the perspective is very much of a middle-aged mum. So a lot of the insects that I'm able most strongly to empathise with, it's in their maternal instincts that I find the most common ground. And for example, there's a poem in here in the insect section about mosquitoes and malaria, and that is something that I approach in that poem as a mother. And then I think that, you know, the mother narrative is really what the Pasiphae section is about. It's about this really loved child that is nevertheless destroyed by the society around it, despite everything the mother can do to protect him. And then the last section is very obviously about being a contemporary mother of daughters, you know, a contemporary mother with problems, like mental health problems, but nevertheless. I'm not a trained classicist. I think I've come to lots of these myths through modern retellings, or, you know, I studied early modern plays, so through Shakespeare's use of Ovid, for example. But I do find them fascinating, and I think because they raise a lot of questions, and also because there are a lot of gaps in them when it comes to female narratives. There are a lot of details that are skipped over and realities that are skipped over, and I think I always have a lot of questions about them, and like to kind of explore them imaginatively, because they leave a lot of space for that, actually. It's just a lovely feeling to have a book chosen by other amazing poets from that year, and also it's something to look forward to. Like, you can go and hang out with. I've met some incredible poets through the Elliot List, like my hero Sharon Olds and so on, and yeah, this book's been quite quiet. It's quite a quiet book, so, or not that it's quiet, but it's quieter than my last book. So, and the world of criticism or for poetry is narrowing. Actually, I felt like there's a lot less space for poetry this time round than there was last time round. So actually these shortlists are really important just for getting the word out that the books are out there. And I'm really grateful, and I was very surprised and feel very, very lucky and thankful.